Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am ZBest. Today will be another video in the series where I break down all the missions in the new Sector 3 personal mission campaign. Today is Dravec Vanguard. Let's get into it. So again, I'm going to be very clear. The most important thing is knowing what tanks you can use for the missions. There are a lot more tanks and some niche tanks that you can use to make your life easier. One of the ways to confirm is to go to tanks.gg, go to all tanks, and you go to roll. You go to roll and you sort. For Vanguard, it's assault, breakthrough, and versatile. Now you want to make sure that there are no light tanks. There are a couple that count, for example, but the light tanks don't count in this case. So everything, mediums, heavies, tank destroyers, that fall under assault, breakthrough, and versatile. There are a bunch in here that you would maybe not consider as a tank that you can play. So one of the most important ones is at tier 8 in the medium tanks, which is the Obsidian. The rate of fire is very useful, as I will mention shortly. The other way is in your garage. You can see all your tanks, and you can sort by role. So keep this in mind. Now, for the missions, number 1 is be the top player on your team by damage caused and destroy an enemy heavy tank. I just recommend a heavy you are good in, potentially a preferential matchmaking, so like a KV5, a 112, WZ111, things like that, potentially the mutant. Otherwise, I just recommend a tier 8. You can do it at tier 10 or 11, but you're just making it more difficult. Play a tier 8 or even a tier 7. Like tier 7 might also work. The reason I recommend a tier 8, the matchmaker does same tier matchups almost all the time. Like more than 50% of the time, you can get a good matchup. As for Vanguard 2, cause damage by firing 8 times to enemy heavy tanks and cause 1500 to enemy heavy tanks. This is all about rate of fire. I recommend a fast firing tier 7 heavy or potentially the Obsidian. The Obsidian is very good for this. It's about a 4-second reload. Even to destroy like an IS-3 is going to take you 8 shots. So just keep that in mind. Any other high rate of fire tank can also work. So just keep that in mind. For Vanguard 3, destroy 3 enemy vehicles of 3 different types, or cause 500 hit points of damage by ramming. Really, either mission is pretty achievable. I did the destroy 3 enemy vehicles just because I was doing some 3 marking and I wasn't going to YOLO by ramming. But if you're doing the ramming missions, I recommend an E50 series, so either a tier 9 E50 or the E50M, or the IS-7 or KR-1, and just find an opportunity to ram, and 500 HP should be pretty easy. For number 4, cause 3250 HP of damage or block 2000 while you're stationary. I just recommend doing the 3250 HP of damage and just play anything. Before I go on, just a reminder, you have to complete all of these twice. So you can't just complete it once, and you also can't use the same tank. So when I say for the previous mission where you need to ram, maybe you use the E50 and the E50M, or use the E50 and the IS-7, or you do 3 kills in one game and then 500 ramming the next. So just keep that in mind. For Vanguard 5, both of these require doing something in the first 4 minutes, either destroy an enemy vehicle or cost 1500 HP. I take that back. This is a single mission. Destroy an enemy vehicle during the first 4 minutes and cost 1500 during the first 4 minutes. The games are fast. This is pretty easy to do. Just use a mobile tank and anything really will work. The games are fast, so just go with the pack, do some damage, and try to steal a kill. Vanguard 6, cost 3500 HP of damage, and destroy 1 enemy vehicle within the view range of your vehicle. Make sure that it's inside 445. It could also be specifically your tank's view range, so if you have 430, be inside 430. But really, any heavy tank, any medium tank, even tank destroyer, just do some damage and try to destroy an enemy vehicle inside your view range. As for Vanguard 7, have total damage caused and damage blocked by armor equal to or exceeding 3 times your vehicle's hit points. Everyone sees the 3 times HP and damage blocked. I'm pretty sure I did this without blocking any damage. Just keep in mind that you can do this with damage caused and damage blocked. So things like, for example, let's scroll all the way up. Where'd it go? The E3, for example. You hold down a quarter, block 2,000 damage, do 4,000, you've completed your mission. So just keep that in mind. Also, if you're playing at tier 10 heavy tank, we're talking 2,500 times 3, so 7,500 combined. Sounds like a lot, but if you do 6k damage and block 1,500, again, you've got it. So just keep that in mind. Also, tier 8s, the K2, the VK 100, both of those are pretty good for blocking some damage. And again, it's 3 times HP. It's about 1,700 hit points for both of those. And you can get that by doing a 3k game and blocking another 1,700 or 2,000. Remember though, if you use hardening, you're putting more HP on your tank, which means you need to do more for this mission. So I actually recommend not using hardening for it. Vanguard 8 cause 2,000 HP of damage to enemy vehicles of your tier or higher by firing from 50 meters or less, or cause 4,000 HP of damage to enemy vehicles. I just recommend doing the 4,000 HP to enemy vehicles, play 10 or 11. You can even do it in tier 9. Just do 4k damage. It's pretty straightforward. High tier is best. Vanguard 9, earn the high caliber medal. I recommend tier 7 or 8. It's the lowest you can go for Dravec. Don't make this difficult with a 10 or 11. You need to do crazy amounts of damage to get a high caliber. Maybe you can do it. Go for it. But we're talking about making these missions easy and straightforward. Play a tier 7 or 8 and get 20% and don't shoot a teammate so that it invalidates your mission or the medal, and then you can get the mission. I did it in Skoda T56, really the Project Ion. Really straightforward at tier 8, but you can also use something like a T29 at tier 7. Get your 2 high calibers and you can move on. For Vanguard 10, cause 4,500 HP to enemy vehicles or 1,500 to immobilized enemy vehicles. Both of these are pretty straightforward. I recommend the 4,500, but that's just the way I went about it, because 4,500 is essentially average damage for me, but for you it might be a little bit harder. But you should still be able to achieve 4,500 in a 10 or 11 every few battles, even if that's not what your typical is. 1,500 to immobilize enemy vehicles. You can do this with a platoon. Someone else tracks it, then you do the damage. Or I'm pretty sure the way I saw it is if you fire a tracking shot, that damage also counts. So for example, if you're playing a E3 and you put a shot through the tracks of a tank and it tracks them, then you get 750 to an immobilized enemy vehicle. Just remember, again, it's easier platoon, but you can do it solo. And you can just aim at tanks that got tracked by teammates. Vanguard 11, destroy 3 enemy vehicles at a distance of 100 meters or less. Some maps are easier than others. There's maps where the brawl is in a 100-meter kind of zone. It's about 1 grid square. Or there's other ones where you're at 250 for the brawl, and it's kind of difficult. It's a little bit map dependent, but you can also do it by closing the distance and Remember, it's about 1 grid square. Just kind of look at your mini map if there's a low HP, but you can also just go and complete it by just playing a bunch in brawling vehicles. For Vanguard 12, the blocking is going to be potentially easier because of how many vehicles are on each team. There might not be 3,500 HP to TDs and medium tanks, where you can do it quickly and easily. You can do it that way. I think I just like poked ridge lines or poked corners where I knew there were going to be tank destroyers and medium tanks, let them shoot me for 2,000 and then pulled back and then played the game after that. For example, on proc, I just poked up my turret, had some medium tanks and tank destroyers shoot me, blocked 3,000 almost instantly, pulled back, mission complete. So can opener is good for it. You can also potentially do it in like the Mouse or the Taschenrad or some of the other super heavies. As for Vanguard 13, this is just anything. 3,500 to enemy medium or heavy tanks. If you play a heavy tank, go to the brawl, you're going to do it in heavy tank. Really easy. And if you don't do the damage, you end up with the 3 kills. So this is play anything, you'll get it. Vanguard 14 costs 3,500 HP of damage to enemy vehicles that hit your vehicle at least once. This is also a very easy mission if you are playing a brawling tank. It's retroactive. You don't have to wait until they shoot you. You can start doing damage, and then you can bait shots, or when you push in and they shoot you, or if you are, I'm pretty sure ramming also counts. If they do damage to you, then any damage you've done to them will count. So let's say you've done 2,000 damage to a T110E5 and then they finally bounce off of you. They don't have to pen, they just have to hit you. Then all that 2,000 instantly pops up in the progress bar. As for Vanguard 15, last but not least, cause, receive, and block a total of 9,000 hit points of damage. This one is very easy in a high tier heavy tank. Remember that you want to receive damage too. If you have 2,000 hit points at the end and you're missing 1,500 HP out of the 9,000, drive in. Drive in so that the enemy team just shoots at you and you'll get it, because you also have to receive the damage. So for example, it's a little bit easy mode. If you use the Mouse or the Taschenrad, we're talking over 3, almost 4,000 hit points of that 9,000. That's more useful for BlackRock, but even for Dravec, it's a good thing to keep in mind. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will have the rest of Dravec out sometime in the near future, followed by BlackRock once I get around to it. If these videos were useful, like and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Feel free to also reach out on Discord. Link is in the description. If there's anything else, I'm always open for a message or a comment, and I will see you guys around.